Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody out there in YouTube land? Well, I'm feeling pretty good this morning. I'm up looking at some pennies, but the reason is that I'm feeling pretty good is I haven't been to sleep. So, you're getting me at the... Tony, go away. Getting me at the end of my wait time. But I'm looking at some pennies and was going to see if anybody was out there wanting to chat and have a good time and look at some pennies. So far I have found, let me move this out of the way, a few. 46 Philly. Tony, go away. Another 46 Philly. A 1950 Philly. I'd have to look at that a little closer. A 19... Hey, Lenny, how you doing? Good morning. 1958D. This is what I found in this box so far. 1944. And number 6, a 1952D. Yeah, I've been up all night, couldn't sleep, so I've been going through a box of pennies. I've got about a little over 10 rolls to finish going through, and then I have another box. So I decided I'd see if anybody wanted to be awake and chat, and today I'm doing okay. I take it day by day and get grayer as I go along here. This is always backwards to me because it's backwards on my camera and it drives me crazy. But anyway, I'm getting grayer, but that's alright. My family's doing well. Nobody's got the sickness yet. Yeah. I just have my sleep cycles backwards. See, right now is usually when I'm going to sleep. I can get off of days and on to nights really easy, but I can't switch them back really easy. I don't know why, but I'll be going along and like I could stay up all day today, go to sleep tonight, and I'd sleep through tomorrow into the night and wake up. So I figure I can't win for losing, so why try? For right now, I'm just gonna keep a plugging, put my little gloves on and get back to my coins. I'm gonna get a fresh set. That's somebody stuck in the wrong place. Tony, go away. My big dog is driving me crazy. I didn't start turning gray till my late 40s. So I was still being carded at 35. I did not start looking old till my 40s. It's one of my, I guess, a blessing. But yeah, I honestly got carded at age 35. Of course, I don't drink, so just now starting to pop up there. They just, oh good God. Oh, because I said I wasn't tired. They just put our county under stay at home, and quarantine curfew. We can't go out after midnight till 6 a.m. So, no biggie for us, except for the kid not getting to go to school. And I probably have one of the few kids that really likes school. He's an A student. Every once in a while gets a little B and ticks him off because he usually gets it right at the end of the semester when he's losing focus, and it takes him off the A honor roll, so he gets the AB honor roll. But it's usually math too. Oh goodness, I gotta quit yawning. But yeah, he if it weren't for Charlie, you know, and now that he can't go play outside with friends, you know, there's not that much for him to do other than computer, playing his video games online, and I've ordered some birdhouses that you build so that we can all build birdhouses and do that since it's spring, fresh green outside. Our family up in Colorado's getting snow, and we're down here. I'm in shorts and a t-shirt with the air conditioner running. Oh, Texas is fun. But hey, I am just gonna fall asleep now that I've decided to go on. I was so awake, I decided to go on, and I haven't stopped yawning. Yeah. Well, Charlotte takes Charlie walking. Hey, Chef, how you doing? Glad to see you. She takes Charlie walking, and they get exercise. Okay, this is ridiculous. They get exercise 2-3 times a day, and he has a growth problem. He gets severe muscle cramps because he's growing so fast. He's going to be a big boy, and he's one of the tallest kids in his class. And if he walks too much, it's kind of bad right now because of my goodness. In case you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm taking, when I yawn like this, it's usually because my oxygen level is low. I have the lungs of a 90-year-old. Yay! I used to play bari saxophone, which is one of the biggest, the second to the largest saxophone, the largest being a bass sax. And I could play that thing forever. And this is weird. I'm at 95%. Not bad, just not good either. When I'm in the hospital, they always put me on oxygen until I get back up to 99 and 100. But anyway, I used to play that thing, had great lung function, moved up here and found out I was allergic to trees. When I lived in El Campo, I don't know if any of y'all know El Campo, Texas, it's flat. It's rice country. That's what they're known for. I mean, the school mascot is a rice bird. And I grew up down there. And when my dad died when I was 16, my mom moved us from El Campo up near her parents in Montgomery, Texas. And it was always a running joke because my sister had asthma and a number of ailments, and it was always a running joke that U2NG coins that we'd get up here and find out I was allergic to pine trees. Well, I am allergic to pine trees. And since then, my body has decided it wants to be allergic to everything, including me. But anyway, let's look at some coins then. Like I said, so far I've found 6 Wheaties, and I've got a little over 10 rolls to go. I usually find 8 or 9 Wheaties, a couple of foreigns. I did find this Canadian, which is a 1979 young head. Canadian penny. In the last box I did, I found a Canadian and a Balboa. Hey, NC Kitty Fishing. Oh, just looking at some pennies, you know, looking for something to do. This is the 62 that I found. So I guess the other one's not the young head. This one's the young head. But anyway, this is the 62. And that Balboa coin is really neat. It's fun that I have them in my to be put in flips jar. You know, this is the Balboa that I found. Un Centésimo de Balboa, Republic de Panama. You too. You be safe over there. And this is the, sorry about the shakes. I have no idea who that figure is. I may have Charlie research it for one of his projects. We're trying to keep him busy, and I've got some coins coming. Like I got some coming from Amanda, and I've got from somebody. I've got I think it's Amanda, Napoleon, and I'm gonna have him research and write me a paper on Napoleon, research and write me a paper on what was the most important thing that happened the year that coin was minted. You know, there's so many ways I can come at it where all these coins that I have can actually, you know, these foreign coins and older coins, he can learn something from, because that's what I want him to do, is I want him to learn. And whoever that is in the Balboa coin is not a happy camper. Okay, I'm sorry, that's just not a good picture. Looks angry. See, I can do that too. But anyway, and see, if I was supposed to get, I know you said you were going to send them out a while back, that Mercury coin, I never received it. So if you have a tracking number or something, let me know and we'll try to find it, because I never got it. Because I'd have done you a mail call if I had gotten it. And I've got to send out a package or two myself today. It's not like I can say I'm too busy. What are y'all doing to keep busy? Good. I'm glad, because I check my mail every day, and I was like, I know I missed your big deal that night. I wasn't feeling well, but I was like, I know, you know, sorry, words aren't coming today. I'm having a little trouble. But anyway, well, in this day of quarantining. What are you doing to keep busy? Don't all answer at once. I filled my Coca-Cola, I filled my 2-foot plastic Coca-Cola penny holder with copper pennies. You can't squish another penny in there. Trust me, I tried. Have you tried that? Charlotte! Sorry, didn't mean to yell. There's a Theraflex. Charlotte has it's got lidocaine in it, and she swears by it. She has rheumatoid. Yeah, what is that pain, rub-on pain stuff that you swear by now? TheraWorks?
Yeah.
Lenny, if you haven't tried it, try TheraWorks. She swears by it. She has.
At Walmart.
You can get it at Walmart. You can order it and have it mailed. She has fibromyalgia, ruptured discs in her back. She's had, because of her neck, they actually went in and did surgery and replaced the discs. I don't know what they did, but they did something to her neck. Number of ailments. Yeah, and she's, like I said, she swears by it, and she gave it to my mom, who has, my mom's getting up there in age and has trouble with her knees, and Mom started using it, and she's now using it on her husband, Don, and he's bedridden, but he gets cramps and stuff from being bedridden and, trying to move and get unbedridden. He can take a few steps now. He had some kind of surgery that put him in bed for a long time. But they've been using it, and they all swear by it. And it, like I said, it has lidocaine in it. You rub it on where it hurts, and it really, really helps. So please try that. Me personally, I don't use anything, which drives my entire family crazy. I don't know how to explain it. For me to use a painkiller, it's got to be, I broke a tooth and I'm sucking cold air over an open nerve. You know what I'm saying? Which I've done. Yeah, I won't use it. Pain, although it hurts and it's uncomfortable and all that, to me, I guess I'm a masochist or something, because I ignore it. Yeah, that fibro's got to be awful. They want to try to say I have it, but I just say I'm just old, cranky, and my body hurts. My sister has fibro. And like I said, Charlotte has fibro. I may have it, I don't know. I know my back hurts, but like I said, it's hard to say because I have, this kidney ailment, so I know my kidneys are a problem. I know I've injured my back, my neck, and my lower back. My neck in a car wreck, and my lower back trying to move something way too heavy and being stupid. My granddad built the house we lived in Montgomery, so it's not totally level after a few years. And my first bed that I bought on my own was a waterbed, a queen-size waterbed. Well, when I set it up, I loved the way I set it up. Well, you know how we women are. After so long, you want to rearrange furniture. So I started rearranging the furniture, and I decided that I was going to move the bed to the other side. So I got the water to draining out, and I got it to a certain point and said, you know what? I bet I can take the sides off and go ahead and move the headboard over there, you know, getting ahead, proactive. Well, as soon as I took those sideboards off, found out how unlevel the house was, because the waterbed just kind of rolled right off the end of the bed. So now I got this big wad of waterbed that's almost empty, but almost is far from empty. And I'm sitting there going, okay. So I went ahead and moved the bed. Said, okay, it'll drain out while I'm moving the bed. So I moved everything else, and I'm at the end, and I'm like sitting there about to put the bottom footrail on, and I go, you know, I need to get this mattress up here first. I bet I can ease it on. Just put a little up there. So I'm putting a little of the bed up there. Putting a little more, hoping it's draining out. I get to a certain point, now I gotta lift water. Okay? And it's not a little water, but I'm young 20s and stupid and think I'm bulletproof. I'm a cop. I'm bulletproof. I get up on the bed, got my feet planted just like when I used to lift weights, reached down there and grabbed and pulled for all I was worth. Well, let's just put it this way. Something snapped in my back. I fell back. I let go, fell back, started screaming for my mama. My mom comes in there, and my knees are up, you know, because I was, and I'm like, what can I do? What can I do? My mom's, what can I do? What can I do? I said, put my foot down. I said, take my left foot and lay it flat. So my mom goes to do that for me. She gets it almost flat. Put it back, put it back. I should have gone to the hospital to find out what was wrong, but me being me, I just breathed for a little while, got the pain under control in my head, rolled over to my side, pushed up sideways. Yep. Pushed up sideways so I could be standing. Went and bought a new mattress, let that one keep draining out. Slept on the couch that night because I didn't have a bed. It was pretty intense. It took a little while, and it was funny because, you know, yep, screaming bloody murder for my mama, and then mama, stretch my leg out, put it back, put it back. My mom still remembers that because it scared her to death, because she thought she was going to have to call an ambulance to come get me. And, you know, I was like, no, I'm not going to the hospital. I was at work next day just like normal. Sore as heck. Oh my God, did I hurt. But I kept going. And that's not saying anything against anybody else except for the fact that I have been documented as having an extremely high tolerance to pain. Now, needles, no tolerance at all. Do they have you on Lyrica? I know Lyrica is supposed to help with fibro, and so is Cymbalta. because that's what they had me on Cymbalta, of course, for my depression, but also for the what they thought was the fibro. And when I was getting off of the Cymbalta because it wasn't helping. Okay, that's not good. You might have them try the Cymbalta. That's definitely not good. I do that now. But it wasn't the Cymbalta keeping me asleep. Charlotte's allergic to the Lyrica, so they had to take her off of it, but she takes the Cymbalta for the fibro, and it helps a lot. And I will tell you this, okay? When we go to Colorado, there's a medication up there that helps greatly. Unfortunately, we can't get it here in Texas, but it relaxes the nerves enough. I don't know where you're at, or but Mary Jane does help with that, with fibro. It relaxes the muscles that grab around the chest and the back. Now, I can't say that from personal use. That would be Charlotte when she goes up there with Charlie to see Grandma. Because I've tried it. It doesn't like me. Wheat back attack. Hi, everyone. Hi. Never seen you before. Glad to see you. Hope you're having a good day. We're just here chatting about all the things that we can chat about because we're bored out of our mind being locked up in the house. But Lenny, if it hurts that bad, you might try that. Okay? You don't want the one that's hallucinogenic. There's two types of cannabis. Tony, stop. There's hallucinogenic, which all the crazy people like. And then there's the one that has the muscle relaxer in it. And that's the one that they recommend for it. In other words, you got a little waiting time before they get around to cannabis up there. No one likes the lockdown. Tony, hush. Dogs. She opened the door to take Tony out. Hang on. It's okay. Yeah, Tony wanted to go out because she heard the other dogs going out. So, and of course they have to bark at her because she's a big dog and they're little dogs, and they think they have to bark at her. I'm like, one of these days she's gonna get mad at you and squish y'all like bugs. Well, we did another roll while we were talking. Didn't find anything good in it. A few coppers. That's about it. Trust me, we scream Wheatie when we find a Wheatie. I've been stuck inside for 5 years. So it doesn't bother me at all. We'll get some sleep, NC. I'll be on again later, or on somebody, Oz's stream if he gets up and puts one up. I'll be on his because, I have to watch my Red Dead because I suck at the game, so I have to watch him play it. Lenny, I feel that way about Texas constantly, but these good old boys, the only thing I can say about them is they would not have waited that long to make buying beer legal, because they want their beer here. They're not going to miss out on a chance to have beer. They're going to have their beer on Sunday. They're going to have their beer on Monday.
Charlie and I are going for a walk.
Okay. They're going for their morning walk. Me, I'm going to open another roll of pennies. See if we can't find something worth having fun with. Now, my last box, I ended up getting 7 dimes, which is really cool. Now everybody's going to howl because they left the house. Now I'm going to hit the door. Just wait 1 minute. I hit the door, they shut up. Enough. Alexis? Hey! Stop! Enough! Okay, so I'm wrong. They're not going to shut up. They're just wonderful little puppies. When these dogs die, I will have an outside dog only. Because I used to breed and show dogs, okay? I bred and raised dogs called Shiba Inus. They look like little foxes. They're the miniature version of an Akita. And I had some of the top dogs in the country. But the best thing about them, they were quiet. Well, when Charlotte and I met, Charlotte raised Jack Russell Terriers. I don't know if y'all know anything about Jack Russell Terriers. They're anything but quiet. They're anything but calm. Shiba Inus are more like cats. They're quiet, they're calm, they're fun to play with, when they want to be played with. They're very aloof, so they don't bug you. Well, since then, I found out simply by seeing it, that the dogs that I spayed and neutered at 6 months, because they weren't show quality, which they got to be a champion or I wouldn't breed. Well, anyway, for their 6-month birthday, if I wasn't going to show them and champion them, they got fixed. So that way we didn't have to worry about accidents happening. Well, the sisters and brothers who did really good in the show ring, you have to keep them intact. And the ones that I fixed outlived everyone that didn't, everyone that was intact by a minimum of 3 years. I'm like going, I could get 3 more years from a dog that I love. So I said, I quit breeding. I couldn't find anything nice enough to breed my Shiba to. I had one of the top, best, most beautiful Shiba Inus you can imagine. And I couldn't find anything that I would breed her to or could afford to breed her to. The only dog I wanted to breed her to, the price was too high. Let's put it this way, we almost beat him for best in show at Westminster. But what they wanted to breed, they wanted $20,000 to breed to him. I don't know about y'all, but I don't got $20,000 to breed a dog. And pick a litter doesn't generally work with Shibas because you may only get one puppy in a litter. They're not prolific breeders, they don't have oodles. Most of my litters were 2 to 3. I did have a couple litters that were larger than that, but not many. But anyway, so I got into rescue, and we got into rescue, and I was working as a vet tech after being a cop. I did a year of traveling the country showing my dog with a professional handler. And then I decided, well, I got to do something for a living, so I decided to become a vet tech. And I did that for 12 years, 14 years, something like that. And then I decided, well, I'm going to go be you'll love this. I went and became a valet captain. Good morning, Miss Durbin. How are you? I went and became a valet captain because it made me run. I've always been a very overactive overachiever. It's hard to tell with all the pred they give me and how nice and fluffy I've gotten. I'm not fat, I'm fluffy. Like fluffy. You get it? Anyway. I was running 10 miles a day as doing that. I'm doing pretty good. I finally quit yawning. Of course, I said that, now I'm going to yawn again. Whew. Been up all night, couldn't sleep. I'm doing pennies. We're looking at pennies. Found 6 so far. Wheaties in this box. And I'm thinking about putting together that box for you guys. Lenny, I know that one. When we lived in Montgomery, the first year we lived there, there was a sign somewhere that said, you have a sick or injured cat, take it to, and had my address. I don't know where that damn sign was. But that sign was up. And the first year we lived there, we had 12 mama cats and 50 kittens. More than that. There was more than 50 kittens. But we had so many mama cats and dumped on us that it was amazing. The only thing we could think to do was, my grandparents had chicken coops. And what I did was I had cleaned out the chicken coops because, they left and there were no more chickens. And I cleaned out all the boxes and everything, and we made the boxes with little beds for the cats. Well, the cats would steal each other's kittens. So, and they'd move all the kittens into one box, and then they'd lay on them, and unfortunately they would squish a couple of them. So what we finally did was we built a big box in the middle of the chicken hut and put all the kittens in the middle, and the moms would lay in a circle around and all share feeding the kittens. And you just had to go out there, quite a few times a day and make sure that the weaker kittens got to eat and everything. But yeah, we placed so many cats and so many kittens that year. Oh my God, it was terrible. But after the 3rd year we lived there, somebody took that sign, wherever it was, down because we quit getting cats dumped on us. But yeah, we got so many cats. We took them to every feed store, gave them away at every feed store for barn cats. We had to do something. My mom was a teacher, and I was in the academy to become a police officer, and we just didn't have the time or the money to have that many cats. So yeah. Diane, you got any of the grandbabies with you, or are y'all grandbaby free. If you have one cat, that's cool. Multiple cats, I will never do it again. One cat tops. Right now we have too many cats. Because, like I said, we did rescue. And when I was a vet tech, this was the fun part about a vet tech. One of the places I worked, because they knew I had a big heart, it was an emergency clinic that was open 24 hours a day. They had regular and emergency. And I'd come into work and they go, so and so found this cat hit by a car on the side of the road. If you don't want it, put it down. And they'd leave it for me. And they knew I wasn't going to put it down. So and so, they found this cat and it's been injured. You need to put it down. Well, they knew I wasn't going to put it down. Dr. Hofstetter would come in at night on the night shift and he'd go, "What's this one, Jolene?" I said, "It's another one they left for me to put down." I said, "You're going to have to amputate the leg, or we've got to do this." And we'd fix them up and spay them and, spay them, neuter them, give them away, or I'd take them home. I had a cat one time with 9 toes on one foot. I called her 7 of 9 after the Star Trek character. But yeah. So at one point I had 20 something cats. And now we're, then I see kittens and I'm like, oh, they're so cute. Well, I keep forgetting they grow up into cats. Oh, I can top that. I went to the local Valero just up the road to get a slush and get some gas and stuff. And I got my slush, and there was already a cup in the cup holder, so I grabbed the cup out of the cup holder and walked to the trash can. I left the car door open, came back, and there's a dog sitting in the front seat of my car. So this dog jumped into my car. I start looking around at everybody. I'm like, whose dog is this? And they're like all going, he's just been walking around out here. I'm like, okay, it's not bad enough that people dump them in my neighborhood and we take them in. We get them spayed. We get them neutered. But now they're jumping into my car at the gas station. He's a really good dog, though. He's a cattle dog. His name's Bubba. He's a sweetie. We've had so many dogs dumped out here in this neighborhood, and we end up taking most of them in. So luckily, there are some other big softies have moved in, and they take them in now. Well, just recently, the before our house flooded, right before our house flooded, okay, I was coming home from going to town to get some coins. I had gone to get some coins, and I'm coming home, and I see this cat running back and forth trying to get off the freeway. And I'm like, oh my God. So I slam on my brakes and throw my car into the turn lane. Car behind me almost hits me because I slammed on my brakes trying not to hit the cat. Anyway, they whip around me and see that I'm now jumping out of my car because they see the cat in the road. And it's kind of flopping and not walking right. It had already been hit in the head. And now I'm trying to convince all these cars to stop. It's pouring down rain. And I'm trying to convince this cat that has been knocked silly to let me catch it. Okay? This lady comes up and she's going to help me. She's waving down cars too to make them stop so that I don't get hit while I'm trying to catch this cat. The cat realizes I'm there to help it. I grab it up. It's a solid white cat. And grab it up, and she comes running over and she goes, "Here, take my sweater." And she wraps this soaking wet cat up in her sweater. I said, "Do you want this cat?" And she's like, "No, I can't have a cat where I live." And and I'm like, "Okay, well, I got to get it to a vet." So I grabbed it up, ran it straight to our vet, walked in the door and said, "This just been hit by a car on the freeway." You know, they took it back there. It had cuterebra in its neck, which is where they go after rabbits, and the flies lay larvae in their under their skin. And he had, some head issues from being whacked in the head. And spent a little money there, got some antibiotics for him. They killed out the cuterebra. They could get all but one of them. One of them they couldn't get to come out. And they said, when you neuter him, just have him pull that out too. So I came home going, I am so going to get killed when I walk in the door. And they found out I spent $150 on this cat that I just saw get hit in the road. My family took it in stride. It's not the first one I've brought home. It won't be the last one, and they know that. My niece took it, adopted it, named it Snowball. He's named Snowball. He has a head tilt issue, but other than that, he's a good cat, sweet cat. As soon as we got in the car, he curled up and went to sleep in my arms, because he was not feeling well. And he's the second one I've seen get hit on the road. The other one was a dog. I was driving home from Beaumont, and I see this dog standing. I didn't see it get hit, but I see this dog standing over another dog on the side of the road. And I'm like, oh, crap. That dog's going to get hit standing over the dead dog, So I pull my car over there, and the dog runs off. And I'm like, come here, puppy, come here, come here. And it wouldn't come. Well, I see, the dead dog is laying there in the road, so I go over to it. I'm going to move it off the road so that it doesn't become smashed. You know what I'm saying? So I look down at it. I'm fixing to pick it up, and its eye blinks. It's not dead. I pick it up. I say some dirty words. I pick it up. I run back to my car because I'm carrying this 100-pound dog. Open up the back end of my car, set it in the back end of my car, try to catch its two compadres, the one that was standing over it and the other one on the other side of the road. Blood's coming out of its mouth and nose and stuff, and I'm just terrified it's going to die, and I want to catch its friends, but I know I can't. So I take off. I'm like, where's the nearest vet? So I just keep heading home. I drove for about an hour before I found a vet and went in there. And of course, by the time I get to the vet, the dog has woke up. I don't know this dog. It doesn't know me. I had quit being a vet tech because I got tired of being bit. Someday I'll have to get it where it shows all my scars. But anyway, no, they're there. Some of them. But I go to the vet, and I'm like, I saw this dog on the road. It's been hit. It's screaming bloody murder. It's vomiting up blood all over my car. Okay, my entire back end of my car is now covered in blood vomit. get the technician to come out and she comes out with a leash, and I said, I'm gonna let you get it. Turns out that dog is the sweetest dog on the face of the planet. Did not give her a bit of trouble. Went in there, got it looked at, had a whole bunch of head trauma, lost a bunch of front teeth, had split lip, stuff, and got some antibiotics and some anti-inflammatories for, head trauma. Took it home, and she is the biggest, fattest dog. She was skinny then, and she still was big. She is as big around as a moose. She's huge. Yeah, she's. I think I kind of believe in reincarnation, at least of animals, because I see characteristics in dogs that somehow find me, and they're dogs I've had in my past. And she reminds me of two dogs from my past. I can't decide which one she is because there are characteristics from both of them that are both so strong. And she has the eyes of one of my Rotties that was named Luz. And I mean, Luz had strange looking eyes. And then she has the attitude of another Rottweiler I had named Buttons. And just sweetest dog on the planet, loved to lean. When I was taking her to obedience training, they go, do you need some treats to treat your dog with? I'm like, no. If I tell her good girl and pet her on the head, this dog's in heaven, And they're like, okay. I picked her out. She was the pick of the litter. She was the runt puppy out of 13 puppies the mama dog had. I got pick of the litter. I went in there. It was my boss's dog. She was picking up and showing me each of the puppies. I didn't know the first thing about Rottweilers, except that they were big. She picked up every single puppy, got to the runt, picked it up. It peed all over my boss. I said, that's my dog. The ugliest Rottweiler head you've ever seen on a Rottweiler. And for the bloodline she shouldn't have. But man, it was funny as heck because, like I said, my boss picked her up and went, and she doused my boss. It was just funny. I enjoyed it immensely. She was a good dog. Very good dog. But she'd lean against me and wrap her head around my leg in her sit. And never could break her of that. If she was sitting, and she was a smart dog, she took to all of it. She was on hand signals, but her sit was leaning against your leg with her head wrapped around where you couldn't move without her knowing it. And Luz I trained to be an attack dog, but it was all for show pretty much. She would attack, but she wouldn't attack for no reason. I taught her to, because we lived out in the country by ourselves, me and Mom, and when I was at work, Mom would be by herself out there in the in the place. And I trained Luz that if she was on the long 6-foot leash, that's the normal leash. She was a normal dog. But that if Mom put her on the short leash, she was to growl and act a fool. She would bounce up and down, growling and barking, and just, you'd think, and her tail just going. She had the longest damn Rottweiler tail, just going. And she'd be out there, but she'd be growling and barking, And I did that so that when Mom felt uncomfortable, because we had so much land out there, and I couldn't do it all and work, and that I'd have to have guys come out and cut down trees and stuff. And so I wanted Mom to feel safe. She'd put Luz on that short little leash and walk her out there. My mom's all of 4'10", and she'd walk her out there and Luz be acting silly. You could come in my yard. If Luz was loose, she'd follow behind you, wagging her little tail, telling you how happy she was to see you. She wouldn't come close enough for you to pet her, but she'd be out there. Well, she'd go, and you didn't know y'all were getting storytelling time, did you? She'd be follow you around the yard. Well, I had to do that. I had to the meter men had to be able to come in and read the meters because we had 2 on the property. And so I told her that as long as they came in, went and read the meters and walked back out, they were fine, as long as they didn't touch anything. And I told the meter men, told all of them, went to the office, told all the guys that come out my way that they had to put instructions down that you could come in my yard, go read my meters, don't touch anything. If you touch something, the dog was going to bite you. Okay? Well, one day I was working nights, and I was asleep during the day, and I hear the meter man talking to Luz out there, and I'm like, he goes, you're not mean, are you? And he's just talking to her, and she's wagging her little nubby, because she's a good dog. She's wagging her little nubby. This second dog I ever trained. She's wagging her little nubby, following him around. He goes, if I touch something, you're not going to do anything, are you? You know, and I'm like, don't do it, bud. So I'm looking out the window now, because the meter is right next to my bedroom. So I'm looking out the window. He can't see me, because the window's behind where he is. He decided to touch. I forget what was on the back porch, but he touched it. You never seen anybody run so fast. Luz went after him, bit him in the tush. Didn't draw blood, just hard enough to let him know, Mama told you not to touch nothing. It was so funny. That was the second dog I trained. When I was 16, I trained my first, or 13, I trained my first dog. His name was Son. And Son would put you back in your car. You'd come into my yard. Son didn't care. He would take you out of the yard and put you back in your car. And if your window was down, he'd jump in your car and say, come get in your car. Because the meter man came into my yard and we didn't have him chained or in his 6-foot pen. And the meter man came in and didn't... I don't know why I had forgot to put Son up, but I had forgotten to put him up. And Son chased him around his truck. The meter man was gonna jump in his car, grab the door, and Son flew through the window and was sitting in the car. Luckily, my neighbor, who was also our landlord, and Son knew him, came over, and he's laughing his butt off because he watched the whole thing from his garage. And he come over there to get Son, get him out of the vehicle. All my dogs would do that. Luz took the neighborhood kids throwing rocks home. Neighborhood kids came over. They were throwing rocks at them in the yard. Well, Luz had enough of that. She chased them home and put them in their yard. Once they were in their yard, she turned around and came home. Mama came over later and said, your dog chased my kids back into the yard. I said, what were they doing down here? Because I lived on I was the only person on a dead-end street. I said, what were they doing down here? They have no business being down here. Well, that doesn't matter. I said, yes, it does. I said, because Luz wouldn't jump the fence if there wasn't a reason. I said, so what were they doing? She goes, kids, come here. What were y'all doing? Throwing rocks. So you were throwing rocks at my dog, and my dog jumped the fence and chased you home. Did she bite you? No. I said, feel lucky. don't come throw rocks at my dogs anymore. Now I don't. My dogs, I'm lucky if they come when they call them. Back then I trained my dogs to do everything. You could hand Peanut, one of my dogs, when I was a kid. I could hand her this, tell her to take it to a specific person in the house, and she'd search till she found that person and hand it to them and to them only. You could ask her for it. She wouldn't give it to you because you'd tell her who to give it to, and she'd take it to them. And it wouldn't be wet, slobbery, anything. She would carry it just good as she could be. That was the smartest dog I ever owned. She was an Aussie. She was a good dog. She and Son made way too many puppies. Quite by accident, trust me on that one. I took her, Son broke through a closed window to get to her, busted up the window. I took her the next day to the vet, told him spay her. I was 16 years old, paying for it myself. I said spay her. I'd never heard of heartworms before, and they did a heartworm test on her and said, well, we can't spay her because she has heartworms. I said, well, she bred with my dog yesterday and I don't want puppies. I said, what do we do? And they said, well, we'll give her a shot and that'll start her heat cycle over and you'll have 3 more weeks of a heat cycle, but she won't have puppies. I'm like, okay. And we'll treat her for the heartworms. And you got to keep her quiet. Those people ruined that dog. They forgot to give her the shot. They treated her for the heartworms. She's being treated for heartworms. She's supposed to be kept quiet, no stress on her body. And what does she do? She has 13 puppies. 13 freaking puppies. Dog was never right after that. I got her spayed right after that. Got Son treated for heartworms. Haven't had them since. Don't intend to have them. Some bad stuff. You know what? I am not finding anything. Diane, what do y'all have planned for today? Anybody got anything good planned for today? Somebody do a StreamYards and let's get a conversation going. Instead of y'all listening to me yammer about my dogs from when I was a kid. Although I do tell an interesting tale. Tell y'all about my 22nd birthday when I was a cop. They tried to hit me with a pie. My sergeant had them make one of those big old meringue pies. Ah, that sounds like fun. Yeah, my sergeant, when I was 22, decided he was going to hit me in the face and sing happy birthday to me and hit me in the face with a cream pie. And luckily for me, I caught him moving towards me out of the corner of my eye and ducked, grabbed the pie, and took it on up to his face and splattered him with it. It's like, I have too many years of karate and knowing how to move for you to do that to me. Well, I'm looking forward to getting my stuff. I'm not looking forward to auction hangover. I imagine so. That's a lot of packages and a lot of stuff to get out. I've got to get my... Well, now I can print again. Problem I have is PayPal only works if you have money coming in from that person to print off the addresses, which I was able to do way back when I had sold something, or I forget why Alden sent me some money for something. And oh yeah, it was some books I had he wanted to give to some kids. But anyway, he bought them from Charlie, yeah. But anyway, so that was the only way I could do it, and now it won't let me get back to it. So I can't do it that way anymore. I wish I could. I got to figure out how to do it, so because it's so much cheaper to do it through PayPal. Shipping, I mean, I got my scale, I weigh it, you know, and print out the labels, and all I have to do is put my little arm up on my box out there, or sit out there until she comes by and then hand it to her. Luckily, I know my postal carrier. The postal carrier used to live right behind me, so that made it easy. Oh, I'm just not finding a lot in these rolls. Got some 82s to look at and 83s. But getting a fair amount of copper. Need to see if New Marshall still wants to buy some copper. He did one time right before we flooded. I was supposed to be getting him some bags together of, and then we flooded, and we went through all that, and it got pushed aside. And I gotta send a package to Oz. Got some stuff for Sis, and I imagine he could maybe get her interested in doing some coin stuff, because kids are bored out of their mind right now. I think Charlie's played every game he has. Feel better, Lenny, and like I said, please try that stuff, okay? It was nice talking to you. You too, and I'm going to end this stream because, like I said, I was just bored at 6 a.m. and go find my family and see what they're doing. Y'all all be good. Have a blessed day.